Hello, everyone. My name is Kayla, and I work for Lollycup Store. And today we're going to have an amazing webinar for all of you. We have 1883, Cappuccine, the team members, and they are going to share with you some of their amazing products, how to use it, and we'll take any questions that you have. So at any point, if you have any questions, please let us know. We will be giving out some prizes throughout this webinar. So please be sure to participate in the polls. Even if you get it wrong, if you are chosen in our raffle, then you will be able to get a prize. So don't miss that out. And we are very excited to have you all. So I'm going ahead and I want to introduce the 1883 team. And they will also be giving an introduction of themselves. So Audrey, why don't you take it away?
Hey, hello everybody. I'm Audrey. I work on the West Coast with Russ, my colleague. I'm a business developer, and today we're going to talk about Cappuccine in 1883.
And my name is Russ Cullen. I am the West Coast business manager. I'm covering from Canada all the way down to Mexico over to Colorado. So any questions you might have for us, please don't hesitate, whether it's today or in the future. And I think you really enjoy getting to know more about the Cappuccine in 1883 lines, and especially today, some of the blended applications. So thank you. We look forward to being with you today.
Okay, so let's start the presentation. Good. So we're going to start with Cappuccine. So let me outline the main positive point of Cappuccine. So this brand exists since about 30 years. It's one of the pioneers in the frappe mix industry. We have a really good powder mix, and it's really premium alternative for you on the market. That powder has high quality ingredients in it, and it really has a great taste, and most important, the perfect texture. Because when you do a frappe, you want your drinks to keep the same and have the perfect texture when you will drink it. So this is why we really love our powder and call it a premium powder. It's also a versatile product. We'll talk about that later, but that powder can be used for many types of drinks, even for baking. So it's really an interesting product to have in your place. We have a full line with about 40 flavors. We have flavors with coffee, flavors with tea, flavors without coffee or tea. We're gonna get more into details after that. All the powders are made in the US. Our main supplier is here in California. We're also gonna show you how to use that powder by doing some recipe, and you're gonna see it's super easy. It's just 4 steps for the frappe, and if I can do it, you can do it. So it's really a profitable product for the operators, because we're gonna see that the powder has a really good price, and then when you're gonna do the drink, the price you're going to sell will allow you to have a really profitable margin. So as you can see, this is why we say frappe has high profitability, because the average cost for one 16-ounce drink. So for one 60-ounce drink, we're going to use about $1.20 of powder. And then you're going to fill the blender with either water or milk or coffee, alternative milk, the liquid you decide. And so you can see that when you prepare it with water, for example, if you sell it at $6 for a 16-ounce drink, you're going to have a profit of about $4.40. So it's really interesting, and you really want to try it because it can be good for your business. So then as I was saying, we have flavors with coffee. We have about 13 flavors with coffee, about 6 flavors with tea, and most of them are coffee and tea free. But as explained, some of them, even if they are coffee free, for example, you can add the coffee yourself if you want the drink to have coffee in it. So it's really easy and it's really interesting because you can mix and adapt the product for your needs. And then here are one of the most popular flavors we have. The Vanilla Express is really popular because it's used mostly as a base. And then you can add another flavor with some fruits or with some syrup, anything you'd like. Then we have caramel latte, which is really good as well. The match. And we have our signature, like you can even do, we even have a client who does red velvet waffles with the powder. So it's really interesting to see all the application you can have. And just so you know, the powder comes into a bag. It's a bag of 3 pounds. There is 5 bags per case. And in one bag, you have about hundreds of servings. So it depends on the flavors because for each bag, you're going to have a scoop. But that's a lot of drink in one bag. So that's really interesting. And so now I hope you listened because it's the first question for the pool time.
Awesome. I will be launching this poll. So remember, guys, you have a chance to win. Audrey, actually, could you share with us what they will be winning if they win this raffle?
Yeah, so for that first question, you're going to win 1 bag of Cappuccine powder, the cinnamon bun.
Wow, that is awesome. That sounds amazing. Okay, let's launch the first poll. Okay. Where is the cappuccine powder produced? France, USA, Italy, or Greece? Everyone, please go ahead and put into the poll.
17 servings, 16 servings.
If it's written from 80 to 120.
Audrey, you're not muted. Okay, awesome. Where is the cappuccine powder produced? France, USA, Italy, or Greece? Everyone, go ahead and vote. Okay. Awesome. We are going to close the polls in 5 seconds, so don't miss out. All right, so close will be, oh, can everyone see the poll? Just making sure. Make sure you click the 3 dots. Okay, some people can see it. Awesome. I just want to make sure you guys all have a chance to win. Okay, awesome. Cool. Okay, then if that's the case, everyone can see the poll, then we are going to close it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Poll has been closed. Awesome. So afterwards, at the next poll, we are going to do the raffle. So make sure you continue to have a chance to win. So stay tuned. So back to you, Audrey.
Yeah, let's go. Let's continue that presentation. I'm going to share it with you again. Okay, so just small precision. I was wrong. It's about 100 serving per case, not per bag. Sorry for that. So let's go to the next one.
So the preparation of the product is really quite simple. It seems more complicated than what it is, but it's really 3 or 4 quick, easy steps. When making a frappe, the first thing you want to do, get your pitcher, your canister for your blender, have 5 ounces of liquid added. And quite often you'll find that the measurement is on the side of the container. So you don't have to pre-measure into a cup. You can actually use the dispenser as your guide. They're usually marked in 2, 4, 6, 8 in even numbers. So just get your liquid up between the 4 and the 6 ounce. And sometimes too, if you just look inside, if you pour to just at the top of the center part of the blade, that's usually 5 ounces, but it's marked on the canister. After adding liquid, then you can add the 2 scoops of powder. It's always good to add the powder after you add the liquid. Sometimes if you have a wet canister and put the powder in ahead of time, you end up with it sticking to the sides, and you don't want that. So first step, liquid. Second step is the powder. Then 14-ounce cup of ice, pour it on top of the whole thing, put the lid on and put it on the blender and blend. We do recommend always that you try to use a NSF certified blender. Of course, that's the one for food service. That's what's recommended. And the good thing about most of the NSFs, they have a pre-program for smoothies and frappes. So the nice thing is when you use one of those, you can press a button, it knows exactly how long to go, and it changes the cycle. And as we make one, you're gonna hear the difference as it goes along. It starts off at a low speed, then goes to a high. So it's really fairly easy to make a smoothie or a frappe. It's a matter of, in the case of a frappe, liquid, powder, ice, and blend. It's just that simple. Are we making that? So there are multiple applications that you should be aware of. It isn't just for making frappes. So the product can be used in a few different ways. It can also be used hot. Yes, all of the frappe mixes that we make also have a hot application. And a good example is chai tea. I'm sure most of you are aware that chai is typically served hot and not cold. But again, you can use all of the powders in a hot or cold blended application, or even over ice. So you take the product, you can add hot milk or hot water to it to make a great wintertime hot chocolate or a great wintertime mocha. We have our mocha product that's already got the coffee. It has the chocolate in it in a powder base. Add to milk or water, and you have a great hot application. Don't be surprised to find out that we also have a over ice application. You can take the product, and of course, over ice is probably the most popular thing that's out there nowadays. Using the same powder, you can do an over ice application. We recommend starting off with 4 ounces of hot water, adding 1.5 ounces of the frappe mix. And then after you mix those together, add 4 ounces of cold water. The idea is to not melt your ice. After you've mixed it together, the hot, the cold, and the powder, then go ahead and pour over ice for a 16-ounce drink. A great alternative, a great summertime recipe for those people that don't want a blended drink. And of course, with the popularity of over ice drinks right now, it's a great way and a nice solution to do at this time. Those are some of the primary ways to use the products at this time. Don't forget though, you can use them in baking applications. Don't be afraid to try it. A lot of people do, especially that red velvet and some of the other unique flavors we have. They're great in different resources that way. So that's kind of the best way you can use the product. I'm sure there's other ideas out there, but those are the most common ones we suggest. The most popular, of course, being blended, but after that, hot is definitely right behind it. So frappe market trends, just to let you know, Starbucks, they've been doing frappuccinos forever and a day. We know that it's huge product. It's a huge segment of their business. At one time, it was as much as 40% of their total business. Now it's not quite as high because they've been doing the over ice, as we mentioned, it's very popular. So a lot of that blended product is now going to over ice applications, but frappuccinos are still an extremely large portion of the Starbucks sales. If you have a blended drink like a frappuccino, and you can use our product to make the equivalent of a frappuccino, a frappe, you're ready to go to have additional sales in your location. $2 billion is quite a bit of business. So we know that it's still a healthy business out there. The main thing to really remember too, when it comes to drinks, 20 years ago, if you went to a Starbucks or a coffee house, almost everything was served hot. The idea of cold just didn't exist. Things have changed. Here in the 20s, the 2023 to be exact, over 70% of all the products that go through the door of a Starbucks and any other coffee house is cold. Whether it's iced, whether it's blended, products are going out the door cold. It is the most popular way to go. And that percentage is year round. That's not just the summertime. That is the average over the year for a coffee house. Over 70% of all drinks go through the door cold. We know that the marketing, it's been mature, but it's been a stable market to be doing the blended drinks. So don't forget. One thing that would really help you out too, I think what's affected the business is some of the quality of some of the other frappe lines has changed over the years. They may not be as good as some people remember. I know some of the products out there are not quite as good as I remember, but the Cappuccine has been fully dedicated to maintaining the quality, consistency, the quality of the ingredients, the quality of the base. Everything has been maintained over the years. So you're not going to find customers saying, oh, Cappuccine, it's not as good as it was. You might hear that with some of the other brands that are out there. If you've heard that about your brand, if you haven't experienced Cappuccine, I really recommend you give it a shot. You'll be surprised and happy to see the qualities of the products, ingredients that we're using at this time. That's most of what we had to say on that. Anything you want to add?
No. So, yeah, so what's good is that with our powder, you will be able to recreate the most popular drinks that a really famous brand has, not to name it Starbucks. So I took some examples they have on their menu today. For example, for the mocha cookie crumble frappuccino, you can use our cookie cream product. For the caramel frappuccino they have, you can use the extreme toffee coffee. We're going to show you that flavor right after that slide. And for the white chocolate mocha frappuccino, you can use our white chocolate symphony powder. So all those three flavors are distributed by Lollicup. And there are a few of the examples that show you that with our powder, you can really compete with this big chain. So, and yeah, just to end on the Cappuccine presentation, you can find all the information you're looking for on the website. We have really nice videos that explain you how works the cafe frappe, how to make a frappuccino, how to make a hot drink over ice. So it's really like kind of tutorial video, and you can go and check that online. It's really interesting. So now it's time to make the first recipe. We're going to do a frappe with the extreme toffee coffee powder. So I'm going to turn the camera so that you can see when we are blending the product. Okay, so this is the product we're going to show you. It's extreme toffee coffee. So as I said, it comes in a 3-pound bag. So,
Audrey, would you be able to stop sharing your screen so we can highlight your screen?
yes. Sorry,
Awesome. Sounds great. That's good.
that's way better.
Yes. Also, for everyone that is here, if you have any questions, feel free to enter in the chat and our specialists will be able to answer them.
Yeah, don't hesitate to ask questions. We have a few minutes before doing the drink, so we're here to give you some answers. So the only thing you would need to make a frappe is a blender, and you can easily measure the liquid inside the canister.
And I'll let you do the play-by-play because they may not be able to hear me from here. But
Yeah.
the first step, 5 ounces of milk.
So we put 5 ounces of milk. As we said before, you can use dairy milk, you can use alternative milk, water, coffee. It's up to you. And then we have our own bag who is ready to be poured, but usually otherwise what you would do is that with the scoop, you would put the powder inside the blender, and all the time it's just 2 scoops of the powder. You don't have to think about it all the time, 2 scoops to make 1 16-ounce drink. And then we're gonna add the ice.
Awesome. Audrey, someone asked, do you have any powders that are dairy-free?
No, unfortunately, all of our powder has dairy in it. It's not a big amount, but we do have dairy. So even if you use alternative milk, it cannot be a vegan product.
So with that, the main thing we should probably mention is that the main ingredient that we cannot get away from that makes it dairy and not non-dairy is sodium caseinate. No matter how the product is made, whether they use all the non-dairy creamers and everything else, sodium caseinate is a primary ingredient that you'll find in everybody's products, including ours. And the sodium caseinate technically disqualifies the product from being vegan. So close, but not quite. So after you have everything added in, once again, I'm going to show you the advantage of having a pre-programmed blender. They're really worth the investment. I'm just going to press one button and you'll notice the change of the speed. And there's a reason for that. It'll start off slow. That's to incorporate the big ice pieces and break them down. And then it'll go through a medium phase and then finish on high to get that really fine texture that makes a smoothie like almost like a milkshake. So you'll be hearing that. Sorry about that, but it's only about 25 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. There you go. Don't notice if you don't know if you noticed the change in speeds, but it definitely did, and that's a good thing. Then after your product is done, just take it out. I like to give it a little swirl. And after you pour it out, you're ready to garnish.
That looks amazing. Another person asked, how long is shelf life on the bags?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question was, how long is shelf life on the bags?
So it goes from 18 months to about 2 years. It's a long shelf life, so you won't even have the time. You will sell too many products before the shelf life ends. And I think I saw another question. Oh yeah, so what's a good blender? Indeed, we are using the Blendtec blender today.
We're using the Blendtec Stealth, which is really fairly quiet. We're adding a little bit of caramel to the top here. The caramel does better if you put a little bit of sugar coating on it, then it doesn't stick, but that's just an FYI. And then of course, Vitamix, they also make a very similar machine. Again, both of these are NSF, not UL. They're both NSF rated. And I've had a lot of success with both of those brands. I know that Hamilton Beach also makes a nice one. So there's a lot of options out there, but the key, I think, is to get a commercial quality, an NSF rated blender that is pre-programmed. There's actually 6 different programs on here. The last 3 are the ones that we use for smoothies and frappes, and they vary in time from 25 seconds to about 40 seconds. Depends on how big of a, how much batch you're doing and everything else. You can make more than one at a time for sure.
Okay, so
And
here is
there
the
you go.
frappe.
That's it for the demo on this one. Audrey,
Yes,
back to you.
we have another question saying, why do you suggest NSF versus UL?
Because for any business that is a food service location, food service health department requires that food service use NSF. If the health department or some other kind of government agency was to come in and to rate your equipment, and sometimes they look, they would say, no, it has to be NSF approved because that is the one for food service. That is a commercial grade product. So like if you go to Target and buy the $29 blender that they have, that's for home use. It's a UL rated. If they were to come into your shop, they could actually say, no, you can't use that here. You need to have NSF. It is a health department rating typically that requires that. Sorry, yeah, it's just one of those crazy things, but it's something you should be aware of. And, it's according to your local government agency, typically the health department. You could always call them and ask them, but usually you don't want to call out and ask them any questions if you don't have to. But at the same time, if you were to look some of this up online, you'll find out that NSF pretty much always has to be the rating for anything used inside of a restaurant or food service location that's serving the public. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you just real quick the next recipe we're gonna make. So the next one is going to be a over ice drink with a double fudge mocha powder. So you're gonna see how we can prepare over ice drink with this powder. Yes.
Okay.
So let me take a drink here. For an over ice drink, the thing is that even if it's going to be over ice, you need to take half of the liquid hot, because if you want the powder to really melt into the liquid, it has to be hot. So we are going to start with 8 ounces of water.
Let's start with 4 ounces.
We're going to start with 4 ounces of hot water. This time we're not going to do it with milk. We're going to do it with water, just to show you that it works well as well. So we put the powder in the hot water, and then we're going to stir it.
There now.
So you just want to stir it for a few seconds until the powder is really mixed with the liquid. And then we're gonna put the ice in the cup and the cold water. Oh, I have to
Actually, water first.
chocolate.
And of course, what Audrey is doing now is just to make it a little more exciting, putting a little garnish on the ring of the glass. So she dipped it into, we had some chocolate sauce in the bottom of this bowl. And then we took the cup, put it inside, kind of like what a bartender might do inside of a bar if you're getting a margarita. And then the idea is if you do that, it's a nice look. And then you can take it and you can put crushed toffee that'll stick on the rim also. So again, this is really more for look and aesthetics. It's nothing that really you have to do, but it's that little extra thing that helps people say, oh, wow, that's a great looking drink. And then with that, we've added the other 4 ounces of cold to the 4 ounces of hot after we mixed it with the chocolate. Oh, and we might use a little bit of ice. That might help out. I don't know what to think about that, but I think I'll put some ice in there.
A question we have is, are you putting the standard 2 scoops of powder for this method?
Yes, it's
So
just
I did, but if you read the bag, it says 1.5, and it really works well with 1.5. But you can do 2, but I typically do 1.5 because that seems to be all we need. And that brings up a really good point. Always follow the instructions on the drink, and then it's up to you. You're going to be the one that decides, okay, I thought that was just right, or you thought, you know what, that was a little too sweet, or that one wasn't quite sweet enough. So you always have the option of dressing it up on your own. When we say use 1.5 ounces to make the over ice or 2 ounces to make the frappe, we recommend starting there, but it's always going to be up to you to make adjustments to where you think it's going to be better for your clientele and the way you're making the product. And especially when you add ingredients, if you do any, like if you add fruit, if you add any other kind of nuts or anything like that, you'll probably make slight adjustments in the amount of frappe mix that goes into it. You don't have to, but we always suggest that you have that option to go ahead and do that. All right, that's kind of the drink right there. Again, I think the garnish is just kind of nice, but it's not necessary. And to use the garnish, you could just take, like, they sell the crushed toffee, you could do that. Or a crushed chocolate, like a chocolate chip. It's really kind of your option, whatever you think would look good, or something that you have or might be able to repurpose inside your own location.
All right. Yes, one person asked, does this powder have coffee in it already? How is it if we were to add a double shot of espresso?
Good question.
Good
Two
work.
really good questions. So, now you have to look at me. So that's too bad for you. So with all the products, it'll definitely say on the bag, it'll list in the ingredients. But we do have two different categories on all of our products. We have a cream base. So in other words, all the drinks listed are going to have no coffee in them. And then we have the coffee added ones. So that's information that you'll find on the bag. But we'll also be happy to tell you as you're purchasing them, it's not a problem. But most of the drinks, anything that's going to be a latte, a true latte, or a mocha will have coffee in it already. And then a lot of the other things, for example, like our pumpkin pie or our pumpkin spice, that one will not have the latte in it. So some of the flavors you can imagine, like coconut cream, red velvet, no coffee. The other ones where you would expect it, a caramel latte, a mocha, they do have coffee. Then going back to that other question you had, we have mentioned that 5 ounces is the amount of liquid you use to make the product. Always start with 5 ounces of liquid, then the powder, then the ice. If you want to make your own special signature product, if you're especially proud of your product, or you have somebody that wants to do a double shot of caffeine, like you mentioned, yes, part of the 5 ounces can be coffee. So instead of just doing 5 ounces of milk, do 1 ounce, 2 ounces of coffee, and then the balance with milk. So if it was 1 ounce of coffee you're adding, do 1 ounce of coffee plus 4 ounces of milk. If it's a 2 ounce shot of espresso, then you would add 3 ounces of milk, but that still keeps that 5 ounce of liquid base the way it should be. And then everything else stays the same. 2 scoops of powder, and then a 14 ounce cup, 16 ounce cup of ice. And again, that's up to your choice, but we recommend 14, but a lot of people, we do 16. So it's your call. Good question.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I'm sorry for you, you can't try it, but if you buy the powder, you will be able to do the same at your place. So really don't hesitate. I'm going to share the presentation again with you. Sorry. And now it's the time for the second question.
Awesome, awesome. That does look amazing, and I can't wait to try it when I go to our kitchen. Okay. We are going to launch the second question. And if you have just joined, we have polls that will end in raffles. But right now, we are going to go through our first raffle before we do our second poll question. So I am going to go ahead and share with you guys the winner of the first raffle. So number 5, congratulations to Roche Garcia. Congratulations. We will be reaching out to you to get your information so that we can send you your prize. Okay, awesome. Now let's move on to our second poll. Let's go ahead and launch that question. Name 2 applications for the cappuccine powder mix. So this is multiple choice, so please pick 2. So frappe mix, over ice, making doggy treats, for medical purposes. Go ahead and vote. All right, very interesting choices here, and we can't wait to hear the answer. So we are going to close the polls in just a moment, but just letting you guys know, if you get chosen for the next raffle, you will be winning some Cappuccine products, and that is going to be very exciting. So everyone, we are going to close the polls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. So we will be doing that in the next round, or before the next time. So thank you so much for participating, and back to you, Audrey.
Okay. Let's go to the next part. Okay, so now we're going to speak about 1883. I don't know if you're familiar with the brand, but 1883 has been created about 140 years ago, as says the name of the brand. It's a company with a real expertise in beverage flavoring. The most important product we have is a premium flavored syrup. But we do also have sauces, we have puree, and we have smoothie. We're going to make a focus on the smoothie today. And everything is produced in France in our factory. The syrup is produced with the water of the French Alps, which gives consistent quality for the product because we only have one factory and we only use that type of water, which is really pure and allows the flavor of the syrup to be enhanced. So the factory is based in Chambéry in France. It's in the south of France, close to the border with Switzerland, close to the mountain. As you can see, it's just right there on the map. It's a really nice region. If you can go one day, just go and check that out. So as I was saying, thanks to that factory, we have the same quality of product everywhere in the world. So quick introduction about the syrup. We have about 130 flavors, even maybe more today. We have that factory in France, and we really are proud of the product we have because the syrup, the puree, the smoothie, we always make a focus on the flavor. We really want the flavor to be accurate and to correspond to what we put on the label. So our research and department team does an amazing job and really tries to find the best recipe either for a syrup, for a puree, for a smoothie, so that when you drink it, you actually taste the flavor that is branded. And when we do some blind test of the syrup, we really win it because the quality is amazing. It has a clean finish and a really good intensity of flavor. We have also really clean products because as it's produced in France, we have to comply with the French and European regulation that is really strict. So it allows us to be really clean. And then when we export the products, we also are in line with the regulation of all the other countries. Because we are a global brand, 1883 is present in about 40 countries. And the US and South Korea are our first two markets for exportation. And we really hope that this year, the US is going to be the first one. So you can help us with that to grow the brand. And now about the syrup collection, just real fast. As you can see, we have lots of flavors. We have glass bottles of 1 liter. You want to remember that if you buy the syrup, because some of the competition has a 0.75 liter bottles. So you just want to remember it to make the comparison. As I was saying, we have a really clean formula because we only use cane sugar, 100% cane sugar for every syrup. We don't have any preservative, and we are trying to have as many as possible flavor references with a natural coloring and a natural flavoring. For the flavoring, we almost have everything natural. For the coloring, we are getting there because some colors are quite difficult to have natural, but this is really an objective that we have. And the syrup is GMO free, it's vegan approved, and we also have the kosher and halal certification. Do you want to talk about this?
Sure. So thank you for listening to that. That's really what brought us to be what we are, is the syrups. And some of the things that we've now added to it include the smoothie mix. So a lot of smoothies are out there, a lot of product, a lot to think about. What we tried to do was try to make the easiest to use smoothie product out there as well as the cleanest. So just to give you an idea, 100% fruit in our product. There are no other natural ingredient, or there are no other ingredients. It's all natural, no artificial colors, flavors, no preservatives. So really important to remember that. No artificial color or flavor, no preservatives whatsoever. It's a really clean product. And again, just to be clear on the sugar, we make sure we don't have any high fructose corn syrup. We are only doing the juice and the puree. So not even adding cane sugar to the product. Our product is strictly all the carbs, all the sweet comes from juice and puree only. So no other source on that. Again, keeping it really as clean as possible. The best part, well, I don't know about the best part. My favorite part about the product is it's one step, really. It's always two steps. You're adding two things. But in this case, you get the ice, 16 ounces of ice, and you pour smoothie mix to the top of the ice. That's all there is to it. Don't add any other water. Don't add any other ingredients. It's really just that easy. And it's so easy to measure because you know that all you're going to do is pour smoothie mix to the top of the ice. We always want to do portion control. So we recommend a 16-ounce smoothie being a 16-ounce cup with ice to the top. But pour the smoothie mix right to the top. That's all you have to do, and then blend. And the product is shelf stable. So, and before opening, it's shelf stable for an extremely long period, months, many months. It's well over a year. It's basically 2 years from the date of manufacture. After opening, we recommend that you use it within a week at very least, but that shouldn't be too big of an issue. That each box, each container has inside of it, it's doing, you're looking at 4 portions. So it's really pretty easy to use the container without having too much of an issue. So quick and easy to use. It's a lot of fun. It's clean. There's no added sugars, all the sugars are from the natural juices and the puree that's inside of it. That's all the sweetener is coming from natural source. All right, that's the basics on the line.
It looks like we have a follow-up, a question, like how many smoothie flavors do you have?
We now have 6 flavors. So that's all the core flavors. We have strawberry banana. We have wild berry, mango, peach, and pineapple. And we found that those are the key flavors. The ones that we're doing, that are in stock right now that we're focusing on are the peach, the strawberry, and the mango. But there are more coming down the road, more available, ready to go. In addition to the syrups we mentioned, we do sauces. Of course, many people, we still use sauces. Sauces have that viscosity. Most sauces, they're more dairy in texture. I think that's probably what makes them so desired in a hot drink. And of course, chocolate, caramel are the 2 most popular, along with white chocolate. We also make a chocolate hazelnut, and that comes only in our 16-ounce squeeze bottle, and we also do a strawberry. Those are used more for garnish, I think, as well as a little extra appeal. The sauces, typically a sauce is used in a hot drink, somewhat hard to use in an ice drink. If you blend it, it works out pretty well. If it's over ice, it's really hard to incorporate the sauce. That's why quite often it's easier to use a syrup when you're making an over ice drink. Otherwise, sauces do work fairly well in blended, and especially in hot applications. You really got to give our sauces a try. We have a great caramel. We like to describe it as kind of like an old-fashioned caramel, that old caramel taste that's really nice. It doesn't have any bizarre flavors. It's not butterscotchy. It's a really old-fashioned caramel, I think, that carries it over. And the chocolate, nice and solid. So I kind of already went over what makes our smoothie different, but to really kind of focus in on it, our largest competitor at this time, they are also a pour-over smoothie product, but they have added sugars. So they are, I believe they might be using cane sugar, but they are adding sugar to their product. Then the second most popular, you have to add, it's also pour over, but it's made with the sugars. It's made with cane sugar, but it has added sugar to it. They typically run a little higher in calories than our product does. And again, you have that sugar kind of a flavor that you get that doesn't taste quite as wholesome and nice as when you're using just juice and purees. There are a few other smoothie companies out there where they may be natural, but you have to add water to it, and it adds a little more to making the product. 5 ounces of this, 3 ounces of water, over a cup of ice. It's not that it's complicated, but it's one more step you might not need or want to have to train your people on. So kind of nice to really see a product like ours where you got all these great clean ingredients and it's just pour over ice and blend. And we're going to do a demonstration for you too, where we're going to take the product again. We're going to get a cup of ice, add the smoothie mix to it, and then blend it. And I think you'll see how easy it is to use that way. And then knowing that it's going to be a clean product without sugars added other than the natural juice or puree.
Yeah, and don't forget that with the smoothie mix, you can do obviously a fruit smoothie, but you can also do frozen lemonades. You can do granitas, frozen margarita. So there is really lots of application with this product. And as it's, as we were saying, it's just naturally sweetened. It's going to be a right fit because it's not going to be too sweet for the drinks you will want to make with it.
If any of you were at the coffee fest that was just held, it just ended, I think, 2 days ago, we had a recipe that we were doing, and it was, again, we were showing how a coffee house can go against one of the big chains that's out there. And we made a pineapple smoothie product, and it was kind of focused on perhaps a blend that's out there by the biggest mermaid company. And it's really nice, but we used the smoothie mix as our base, and then we added a few other flavors and syrups to it, and it made a real nice blended drink.
Okay, and so now we're going to show you how easy it is with the mango smoothie. You can, I'm going to check if you have some questions in the meanwhile. How long does it last in the fridge once opened? We usually say 1 week, but you won't make it to 1 week because with one brick of smoothie, you can make about 4 or 5 drinks. So it goes really fast. And the BBD is about 18 months when it's not opened. So that's really nice because you can keep that product at room temperature. Really important. And do you have pumps for your sauce and syrups? Yes, we do have pumps for every product. So don't hesitate to ask us. You can order them, or we would be happy to send you some samples if you're interested. Will the standard Torani syrup pumps fit into your syrup bottles? I think the answer is yes. Do we want that? I don't know. But I think it would fit, yes, because it's a standard bottle. So usually there is no problem for that. But again, we do have our pumps.
They do fit, but they're a little bit awkward, but they do work.
Yeah. I would love to get some samples pumps. How should I contact you for that?
We could do it through Lollicup would probably be
Yeah.
the best way to do it. So if you want to contact Lollicup and they can forward it to us, we'll be glad to reach out to you that way.
So let's go and let's start with the mango smoothie. So as we can see, this is the packaging that we have. It's a 1 liter brick.
Okay,
Yes.
we're on. So as I mentioned, the first step is ice. I've already gotten 16 ounces of ice into a cup, ready to go. And now I'm just going to pour smoothie mix to the top of the ice. Just like that. Into the canister. And don't forget, even our color, all natural. Even all the colors for this product, we mentioned that. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, it's really easy. You just take a cup, you fill it with ice, and then you pour over the mango smoothie until the top of the glass. And then you just have to blend it.
So right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'll just show you again real quick. I'm going to grab some ice.
Oh, do it again.
So cup of ice.
Oh,
Use
and
the
you can,
canister.
yeah, you can do it in the canister directly as well. You just have to pour the smoothie until it covers the ice, just like that. Over there.
And even with this squeeze guard, will stop a big accident from happening, but always check to make sure you have that lid on nice and tight.
Okay.
And 25 seconds later, you have a mango smoothie.
Look at that. That's my favorite. It's really good.
You don't usually put whipped cream on top of a smoothie, so I'm going to do it nice and high. But you could, and some places do, but it's your call.
So as you can see, it really has a nice texture and it's super easy. Just 2 ingredients, the ice, then you pour over the smoothie mix and it's ready. Yummy. I'm so excited. I'm gonna drink that. Okay. Okay, do you mind giving us a general idea of the cost per 16-ounce smoothie? Do you have any?
Yeah, I hate to do it because it's really one of those things where we don't check it out that way. It's really the distributor that's going to have that pricing for you. It's less than $1.50 to make it, but that's about the ballpark for most smoothies. And ours, again, being all natural, it's a real nice value. But typically it's right around that $1.50 ballpark area.
Yes. Okay, so I think I don't see any other questions for the moment. Let's go back to the presentation. We have 8 minutes left.
And we really do appreciate the questions. They've been great. So please feel free to keep asking. We enjoy that. It's great to hear the questions.
Yes, don't hesitate.
And then-
Okay, so pool time. This is the time for the third and last question. And for that question, you're going to win 3 bags of cappuccine powder. I didn't say it, but for the second one, it was 2 bags of cappuccine powder. And I guess we're going to hear the winner now.
All right, for the winner for the 2 cappuccine powders, here we go. All right, all right, here we go. We are going to see who is the winner for the 2 cappuccine powders. Thank you for reminding us that. And here we go. It's number 21. Let's see who got that. That is Shira Schneider. Congratulations, Shira. We are so happy for you. We will be reaching out to you to get the information to send you this prize. That is amazing. I also want to share at the end of this presentation, we are going to have a survey. Please take that time to fill it out. We want to make these webinars better and better for you each and every time. So with that said, we are having our 3rd poll. And remember, as Audrey mentioned, there are going to be 3 bags this time that you'll be getting. And we will be launching the poll right now. Here we go. Name 2 characteristics of our 1883 smoothie. So, made with real Cuban cocoa, no flavoring, brave, no artificial flavor. Go ahead and vote. And I am excited to see who wins. Remember, even if you get it wrong, you will still be able to get the raffle. So please participate. We would love for you all to win a prize. All right, so I'm going to be closing the polls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay,
You might be
so
signing
that
off.
was our poll. Back to you, Audrey.
Yay! Congratulations. Okay, so back to the presentation. We just have one slide left, actually, about the trend report for 2023 and in more general for the market. So the smoothie market, let me just, I can't
Oh,
see.
Audrey, someone asked, do you mind giving us a general idea of the cost per 16-ounce smoothie?
Oh, we just said it. We just answered that question.
Okay, my apologies. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. So yeah, the smoothie market, it's really amazing because the smoothie industry has exploded since a few years. People are looking for healthier drinks. And they also love the fact that a smoothie is a good drinks on the go. So the United States actually represents one of the largest market for smoothie around the world. The juice and smoothie bar industry worth more than $2 billion in the US alone for the past year. So that's really big, and you can understand that there is a lot of opportunities because it keeps growing. People are really looking to consume organic food products, having healthy habits, and most especially the young generation is really driving the demand for smoothie because they love doing snacking. They just love to have a smoothie. It's going to be kind of a meal replacement for them because it gives you vitamins and fibers with the fruits inside. So it's really big, and they really love that snacking types of drinks. It's really interesting for them. And as I was saying, people are now trying to focus on the health. So our smoothie is really a good fit because even if it's sweet, it's just sweet because of the fruit. No sugar added, so it's a good type of sugar. It's really a nice alternative to some other drinks that might not be as healthy as this one. And it really helps you meet the daily nutritional requirements, as a matter of fact. So don't hesitate, buy some smoothie. You're really not gonna regret it. And as I was saying, you can do lots of drinks, not just the fruit smoothie. You can do frozen lemonade, frozen margarita if you have a bar. So go ahead and tell us what you think about it. And that's it. Now, if you have any more questions, don't hesitate. We are here to give you some answers. Okay. How many ounces of syrup would you recommend to add in a 16-ounce iced drink such as lemonade or tea? You should add 4 pumps, which correspond to 1 ounce.
3 to 4 pumps, anywhere between 3/4 of an ounce to 1 ounce. Again, it's kind of to taste and what you prefer. But that brings up a good question on the syrups. It's considered to be a 7-to-1 ratio. So for every 7 ounces of unsweetened beverage that you have, if you add 1 ounce of syrup, you get the perfect ratio.
Exact. Do we have more questions? Okay, that's what you've been doing. Perfect.
Okay, that is amazing. Thank you so much. We do have one final raffle, so let's, would you be able to unshare your screen for me?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Audrey. And this is our final raffle. Just letting you know, this is the grand prize of 3 Cappuccine, and it is number 2, Angela Knight. Awesome. Congratulations, Angela. We are so happy for you. And we will be reaching out to send you. As for everyone else, thank you so much for coming into this webinar. We are so happy and that you are all here. Be sure to continue to be subscribed to Lollipop Store, and we will be seeing you next time. Again, we also have a survey. Please be sure to fill that out at the end of this webinar. We want to make this as much as better as much as possible. And of course, let us know what you want us to do in the comments in the survey. And thank you so much to 1883. We are.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to-
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.